So this player probably took more flack for being the most improved player in the history of Major League Hockey. That people still don't believe it. He's never talked about. There's no movie, there's no documentary, even though he played in New York when this happened. And you're going to say to yourself, who the hell are you're talking about here? Well, we're going to talk about this former Toronto Maple Leaf prospect that started his career on defense and eventually scored, are you sitting down from this, ladies and gentlemen, 51 goals in his first season at WHA after only scoring 2 goals for Vancouver the year before in 71 games. So you're saying to yourself, what legend, Jeffrey, are you going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the legend of Ron Ward. Now, Ron Ward was the scoring champion for the New York Raiders in the 72-73 season in their first campaign in the NHL, sort of like the marquee franchise besides, of course, Chicago, Quebec, Alberta, Now, he played with a very, very high-scoring squad that year. Former Montreal Canadian Bobby Sheen was on that team. The very underrated Wayne Rivers and Gene Peacock, who we talked about a little bit already. Normie Ferguson, too, as well. Brian Bradley, the original Brian Bradley. And, of course, a guy we did a podcast on this week, Bobby Jones, with some retreads on defense, including Kent Douglas and some others. With, of course, the great Gary Kurt and Pete Donnelly and net. So it was so bizarre that even Sports Illustrated did an article on Ron and talked about his garbage man play. But if anything, Ron was talented enough to last a number of minor pro seasons, eventually came into major prominence with the WHA in their early years, but never really matched the totals that he had in that first season. So we're going to go back up a little bit. 5'11", 175, from the great Ontario community of Cornwall. A lot of great junior and pro players that come from there. His first minor pro season with Tulsa in 66, he got 28 points in 69 games. 67, 68, also with Tulsa, but he ended up playing with the WHL with the Roadrunners in 68 campaign as well. 69 season with Rochester, the AHL, 78 points in 73 games. 1970, 22 games with Phoenix, 22 with Tulsa. Did get a call up with Toronto, but did very little. Only 1 assist in 18 games with 2 penalty minutes. Now, ended up with the Rochester Americans in 1971, 23 goals in 69 games. Now, he was shifting from offense, defense, and the forward lines. But 72 only had -3 for the season, ladies and gentlemen, which is not bad for a young franchise. But only 2 goals and 4 assists for 6 points. Now, that season with the Raiders in 73 probably ranks as the biggest improvement by any major pro player in history of sports. I don't know if any other player improved 49 goals from one season to the next. Although, Olin Nolan and Brendan Shanahan and even Gretzky had 20 or 30 goal jumps. Not 49 goals and not 118 points. Now, the 74 season was kind of a downturn for him. He played with 3 teams that year. He ended up with 33 goals, but only in 70 games with Vancouver, the LA Sharks, where he scored 14, and Cleveland, where he scored 19 in 23 games, and of course 3 goals in the playoffs. Now, in 75 in Cleveland, he continued his high scoring pace, 30 goals. 76, he got 32 goals with Cleveland yet again. But 77, he split with 3 teams, including Calgary, Winnipeg, and Minnesota, and got 24 goals and 57 points in 64 games. So some impressive numbers, ladies and gentlemen, where you score only 2 goals in 89 NHL games. And in 359 WHA contests, you got point a game pace, 170 goals, 210 assists, 3 goals, 4 assists, and 7 points in 13 playoff games. Ron Ward may have been a garbage man or garbage goals, but they all count no matter how it goes. But ladies and gentlemen, going from 2 goals a season to all the way to 50, 33, 30, 32, and 24. My God, what a great thing to WHA, where he gave a second chance to great players like Ron Ward and others to really showcase their skills. And he was scoring in the minors at 35 goals in Rochester in '69. Rochester had a very good team that year, because when we look at the stats for that squad, they had Jim McKenney was on that squad, Bronco Horvat, even of all people, would you believe this, Don Cherry, when he was still playing. So again, and Wayne Carlton was on that team as well. Brian Glennie, a few others, and players like Al Smith and George Wood and that. So, but all you can say is that I've known many Ron Wards in my life, Carleton County, throughout Canada. But when anybody talks about Ron Ward now, I'm going to remind them: if you ever criticize a Ron Ward in life, because there's many Ron Wards, it's a very common family name. Just think of Ron Ward, the garbage man of the WHA. And he used to take out the trash. How did he take out the trash? By beating the opponents. The Raiders only had so much success in that first season, ladies and gentlemen. The high rents in Meriden Square Garden. They were getting shafted, in the media, saying they didn't deserve to be in the league. You weren't getting many fans. But Ron Ward gave you your money's worth, because no matter what he did on the ice, there was a goal per game. Either an assist or a counter, off the post, cross the blue line, into the net, cross the off the post, whatever. He produced. And that's all we expect in life. You got to produce. So that's a legend of Ron Ward. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. Give me a like, comment, or subscribe. We really appreciate your dropping in. And please give us requests if you can. We've covered a lot of players. I think 700 NHL podcasts we've done so far. And if you don't believe me, hit the search engine. You'll be shocked. I can do 10 or 15 of these a day, but the problem is the upload through that Microsoft program tends to wink out. And these are audio podcasts too as well, easier to do. And if you think I can't do 10 or 15 podcasts a day, just watch me. Have a good day. Bye.